The other match on that show is the X Division Escape match, which was Shocker, Chris Sabin, Michael Shane, and returning Sanjay Dutt.
In tights!
In tights, indeed. No more bin bag pants.
Good.
Despite my love of shiny pants. They already struck a deal for Sanjay to return. He was meant to return on the TV taping after this, but they brought it forward because Kid Cash obviously was fired. So Sanjay took Kid Cash's spot in this match. Against Dusty's will, apparently. It was another talent decision forced on Dusty. He doesn't want Sanjay.
But everyone loves Sanjay, so you gotta do it.
It's just one of those things. It's like, when you have to put Buck Quatermain on your television show as often as you do, imagine if Sanjay was in the place of Buck Quatermain, and then, like, take, for example, the DDP and Sean Waltman versus Sanjay and Chris Sabin. Imagine that match instead. It'd be a good match. Because you have good wrestlers in a good match.
I just want to talk about my man, Shocker.
Yeah, go on. Go off, King.
I love this guy.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's great.
Mm-hmm.
He does a cool fucking crazy little pose.
Yeah.
He's got charisma.
He does.
Great look. Wrestles his ass off. It's a great pickup. Dusty Rhodes is right. I take it back. Take back every bad thing I've ever said.
Shocker does have 2 other TV matches this month. He wrestles David Young on the first Impact of the pay-per-view cycle. He beats
Which is okay. David
Young with his... Mike TNA once again reenacts the McDonald's commercial during that match. He wins with his finish, which is a hammerlock small package that he calls the Shockwave.
And then he teams with Jeff Hardy.
Yes, March 25th Impact, it's Jeff Hardy and Shocker against David Young and Lex Lovett.
Which is a very Liam match, considering the person I like least in that is Jeff Hardy.
You like Jeff Hardy less than David Young?
Yes.
Oh.
And Lex Lovett, obviously. And like, he didn't even question that one.
Well, yeah, he's your favorite, of course.
Shocker.
Shocker. So that does bring us to the cage match. It's nice to have Sanjay back. He's a good wrestler.
Yeah, especially now that he got rid of the bin bag pants. So
the updated rules to this match is that it's escape the cage when it gets down to the final 2, elimination rules until then. The quote-unquote big story note is on one of the impacts before the pay-per-view. Trinity just strolls up to Michael Shane and she's like, I like your style.
Michael Shane's like, thanks.
And she's like, I think you and I, we could go places together. And then Tracy walks up and she's like, grrr.
She's like, that was my man of 4 months ago.
Whom I abandoned, and the other person who was with him is now gone.
For work. Because I'm a career-focused woman.
So Shane is now accompanied to the ring by Trinity.
What could this mean?
What could it mean? Shane eliminates Dutt with a super kick, and then Shocker follows with a corkscrew elbow to pin him. Tracy shows up, Trinity climbs up the cage, and fucking just moonsaults off it.
Which, does kind of prove your point that she is the better manager.
Yeah, Tracy never did a move. She did some pies in the sky, but she never did a moonsault.
Pie in the sky is disgusting,
You get upset every time that comes up.
It's ridiculous.
Moonsault looked awesome, too.
Yeah.
It kind of bums me out that Trinity didn't hang around long enough for the actual Knockouts division.
Yeah.
Like, it's funny to see, like, this is the month where Gail Kim was released. This is the month AJ mentioned it in that interview. It's like Gail Kim was released this month.
We're about to see it happen.
Where that sets in motion the launch of the Knockouts division.
Sets in motion a lot of things.
Yeah.
Moving forward.
A true women's revolution, some might say.
If they want to get sued, sure.
Again, you look into your alternate reality machine, and if WWE never released Gail Kim, what does women's wrestling in Impact or TNA look like?
I just did it, Garrett. I found out what happened.
What?
They released it like a month and a half later.
Oh. Well, it all worked out then. But yeah, she hits a moonsault off the cage. It rules. Tracy then gets in the ring, and Shane just launches her out.
Yeah, how rude.
He's not a good relationship with his old manager, but he turns around, Sabin cradle shocks him for the elimination.
His old girlfriend either.
Yeah. Listen, the new franchise is long dead.
Long live the old franchise.
Sabin and Shocker climb the cage. They're hanging off the other side of the cage. Then Sabin slams Shocker into the cage while they're both dangling. That causes Shocker to fall. Chris Sabin is like, oh fuck, he's falling. Shocker hits the ground first, Sabin hits a second later, Shocker wins.
Do you think, was this meant to be like they both land at the same time thing, or do you think it was meant to be Shocker wins?
No, I think that was the finish. The idea that Sabin hits Shocker's head off the cage, which caused Shocker to fall, and then Sabin's like, fuck.
I really have done this to myself.
Yeah, which isn't a great way to crown a number one contender that his opponent accidentally caused them to win the match, but that's probably neither here nor there.
Well, you can run it back in a singles match on Impact.
He's undeserving. He only won because Chris Sabin kicked too much ass.
The best wrestling story. Which means that, Sabin has a gripe, and that's a free TV match to give Shocker some more momentum ahead of his Daniels match.
Yeah, so he will face Daniels at the pay-per-view next month. Hard justice.
I'm excited for that. That pay-per-view's rounding up to look pretty good with the two matches that we know so far.
Yeah, and it's a 3-week build as well, so you'll be pleased.
Perfecto.
It's the rare company where it's like, oh, how can they build a pay-per-view in 3 weeks? It's like, they can't build a pay-per-view in 6 weeks. They'll be fine.
Yeah, they can barely build a pay-per-view, so just let them try, okay?